In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the document for your ebook project and to make the alternate layout. From InDesign's home screen, I'm going to click Create New, and then I'm going to go to the Mobile tab, and I need to find the iPad Retina. So I'll select that one, and I am going to start with a vertical layout. It's up to you which one that you want to start with. And I'm going to uncheck the primary text frame box. This is an electronic project, so it does not need a bleed. You can opt to change your margins here, but you can always change them inside the document. So I'm going to click Create. And here I have my document. You may wish to develop your whole vertical layout and then transfer it to horizontal or the other way around. Or you might wish to work side by side. If you want to start with two layouts right from the beginning, you go to the Layout menu, choose Create Alternate Layout. Make sure the other orientation is selected. You can also edit the names of these, but InDesign gives them pretty smart names: H for horizontal, V for vertical. For your liquid page rule, there are some guides that you can use with the page tool. However, they are still pretty confusing and in my experience have not saved people much time. So I'm going to turn this off. If we were doing something like an iPad and a phone size, we may be using some things like scale and recenter. But since we're using the same amount of space just in a different orientation, then we aren't going to use any of these liquid page rules. It's good to know they're there, and they could be useful for other projects that have more drastic format change. So I'll click OK, and then you can see my other layout pops up here. It also automatically creates a master for itself. So if on the A master you've gone and put page numbers on, you can copy them and put them in the appropriate place on the B master. Also remember, if you're going to adjust your margins, to do it inside your master documents, and that is in Layout and then Margins and Columns. If you want to be able to adjust them separately, the chain link needs to have the slash through it. So if I wanted to make my top margins bigger, and you can see them happening because I have the preview button checked. And now when I double click on my real page, I can see that that change has been applied because it's been applied to the master. To create additional pages, click the Create New Page button, and it will continue to create pages down the column layout that you've been working on. So to create some more horizontal pages, you can select a page in that column, click the New Pages button, and you'll get more that way. When you're ready to export this, I recommend doing most of your testing in an interactive PDF. There will be some things that we are doing in these ebooks that won't go in an interactive PDF. We can test those individual things in a little window called Interactivity or Swift Preview inside InDesign. For things like links that you just want to test, then I recommend using your interactive PDF layout. This should also work with things like buttons. When you're ready to export it in the EPUB format, make sure you choose EPUB Fixed Layout, and that will generate that file for you. So for the interactive PDF, let's take a look at the options. The only thing I recommend changing here is that you click this View After Exporting box. This is available on the Adobe PDF Print options that we normally use. And what that will do is it will automatically open it in your default PDF program immediately once it's done creating that interactive file. So let's take a look at the EPUB options. So EPUB, fixed layout. This page is quite a bit different. So we have options for the cover. We can choose to rasterize the first page. We can choose none, which is not a good option. Or we can choose an image that we have designed in another program. Typically, rasterizing the first page should work. All the other tabs over here, we don't necessarily need to worry about them. In the conversion settings, there's this default resolution of 150 ppi. If you are doing this project for a specific output, you would want to make sure that this matches the device that you're aiming it for. So iPad Retinas have a resolution of about 264 pixels per inch. So this may be a bit low, but it will also help reduce our file size. Regardless of what you're doing, it's ideal if you can test that document on the device it's going to be seen on. The rest of these tabs we don't have to worry about at all, and you can just click OK. So I'm going to open up this document I have here, and what I've done with this document is I threw some objects on the page. I've got a master with a page number on it, and you can see I've done that with these objects as well. So I'm going to show you what happens when you create an alternative layout when you already have objects on the page. So I'm going to click on this menu and delete my alternate layout. And I'm going to delete this extra master page I had. So I'm back to sort of where I started. So I can also, if I have this menu here, click this button and create my alternate layout directly from the Pages panel. Again, make sure I have the other orientation selected. For our purposes, I'm not going to use liquid page rules, and I will click OK. And if I go to my horizontal layout, you can see it's just transpose that content right in the middle, and I can design from there. I'm going to make sure I go to my A master and copy this page number and paste it onto the B master. From here, you can go ahead and rearrange your content to fit the new layout. It's important to remember that they should go together. There shouldn't be any huge unexpected things when someone rotates their device. There should be some consistencies, not just in things like margins, but in how the pieces of the content relate to each other. So layout is key in tying together the two different orientations of this document. Also in the Pages panel, you can click on these little top menus and choose Split Window to compare layouts. This may be a bit of a messy screen because you can see InDesign will automatically put the horizontal layout after the vertical one. But this can help you work side by side and compare one to the other as you work. You need to remember to click in that half of the window before you do something like Command- or Command+ to make sure that you're zooming on the right one. And you can also hover right here just to the left of the central ruler and resize in order to fit. One last reminder, this is an RGB document. It's also measured in pixels. So we are designing 4 screens, and those are exactly as they should be. All of my swatches are in RGB. All of my links should be in RGB. And anything that I draw in Illustrator, remember to start that document as RGB, or make sure you properly convert it. If you place in a CMYK document into an RGB document, the colors will often look very flat, and that's definitely something we want to avoid. So those are some tips on getting started with your fixed layout EPUB document, creating your alternate layout, making sure you're using master pages, and using the split screen option to look at both layouts at the same time.